And so a typical day for Chien-Ming Wang looked like this. He showed up. We usually start with like a 5 or 10 minute mindset segment, you know, where we try to get the athlete in the right frame of mind and try to give him some inspirational, motivational presentation, either a lecture or a video or something to say, hey, let's get our mind right before we start. So we start with that. And then we would go into a warm-up, a total toe-to-head warm-up. We used 7 different warm-ups. So every day it was a little bit something different. From there, we would go into his individualized, customized throwing program. Whatever we had decided he needed to work on at that time was what he worked on. And so we supervised him while he did the drills that were going to change the things that we had evaluated and that he needed to improve on to gain power and to be pain-free. And so we did that. Then he would take a short break and we would start his power building workout. We studied for 2.5 years the kinds of exercises that translate to increased power on the mound, because we found that many of our guys were doing exercises that were making them tired, making them stronger, but weren't helping them throw harder. So for 2.5 years, we studied that. We came up with the types of exercises that make people throw the ball harder. And so we did that workout. That took about 45 minutes or so. And then we went to our arm care section where we worked on his cool down exercises, mobility exercises to take care of his arm, to rehab his shoulder, to recover. Next, he would go down to our to work with our fitness instructor or me, and we would work on his mobility. And we would work on like if he had a tight shoulder internal rotation, or his thoracic mobility, or his hip mobility. We'd work on stretching and maintaining or gaining range of motion in those key components that we had determined on the evaluation. Then he would start what we call our scaptivation program, which is the shoulder blades, the muscles around the shoulder blades. There's 17 muscles that control the scapula that are really critical to have control of when you throw, to reduce the risk of injury and to create more power. So we worked on that for another 45 minutes. And then he would meet our strength and conditioning coordinator, Matt Abramson, for his weight training workout. And again, was customized for him based on his evaluation. And it was designed to elicit the kinds of movements that create power on the mound. And from there, he would meet with our fitness and nutrition instructor again and maybe do a yoga session. And she had designed a yoga program that was specific to him and individualized to him. And so she would meet with him and do that for another 30 or 45 minutes. And then he would go home. And he was here sometimes 4 or 5 hours a day. And I will say this about Chien-Ming Wang.